It says it's live.
Okay, it's not loaded up yet on my computer though. But Gina, go ahead because it'll.
Okay, let's bring this meeting to order and start with new Monette bid package. Yay.
Gina, is there any particular order you'd like Clint and I to present the information or just go through?
No, it's up to you how you want to do it.
Clint, if you want to start with bids, subcontractors, kind of the bid process, and I'll catch the stuff after that.
Okay, sounds good to me. So last week we bid the project. I'm going to start with going down through our subcontractors, and we will start with what's called the bid packages. And the first bid package was concrete, and the low subcontractor was RE Smith Construction. The next bid package was masonry, and the low subcontractor was Jerry Bennett Masonry. And if anybody has any questions about the subs, just holler, I can help. The next one is, oh, go ahead. Did I hear somebody? Nope, okay. The next bid package was structural steel, and that's Doherty Steel. Next package was millwork, and that's Parks Custom Cabinets. The next bid package was the metal roofing and wall panels. Queen City Roofing was the subcontractor on that. Next bid package is general trades, which actually encompasses quite a few things. It has blinds, landscaping, doors, windows, hardware, toilet accessories, fire extinguishers, flagpoles, access control, fencing and gates, just a whole bunch of different subcontractors actually. And RE Smith, which is my company, actually put the bid in for it, but it's a culmination of many other companies. So the main ones that will be working on the project would be, at this point, Federal Protection for the access control and security. Landscaping was a company called Final Grading out of Springfield. Fencing and gates was Robinson Construction. And then all the other work is just from manufacturers and suppliers, and then my company would be installing it all. The next bid package is the glass and glazing, and that's Architectural Glazing Concepts out of Nixa. Next one was gypsum board, which is sheetrock and ceilings, panels. That company is Performance Contracting Incorporated. Next one is our flooring, which was bid package 09A, and that was Zickel Flooring in Springfield. Next one was painting, and that is New Way Construction. Next one is plumbing, and that is Robin Plumbing. Next would be fire sprinkler, that's Mainline Fire Protection. Next would be HVAC, which is Schnelly Sheet Metal. Next would be electrical, which is Norbury Electric. Next would be site work and site demo, which is Vaughn Excavating. And the last one is asphalt, and that is ESS, which is actually Hutchins. So everybody down there probably knows who that is. That kind of rolls us through there. The main items of note, and I'm not sure if you want me to talk about the two items that we've specifically took as our value engineering or changes. The first one is an interesting one, and I want to make sure that I speak it correctly here. So we had two different types of ceiling tiles specified for the project, and nothing wrong with them. The subcontractor actually had identified that there's another tile that is a lot more readily available and a lot less expensive, and we proposed that, so we're just changing it to a different model number. That actually changed or saved us $16,000. The next one is on our big HVAC unit that sits out there in the mechanical courtyard. There was normally what happens whenever you're in an area that is a lot of traffic, you want to put a very thick and rigid piping insulation over the ductwork, and that's what we had planned on doing. through development, adding the fence, doing all that in the mechanical courtyard, we no longer really needed that. So the HVAC subcontractor had said, hey, I can change the insulation of something that's not near as rigid or stringent, and got with the engineers and Alex, and they all agreed with that, and that actually saved us $40,000. So those are the two that we have specifically accepted at this point. And then, Alex, do you want me to run through the other ones that we've just been discussing?
I can. If you've got updated numbers, it's better than what I can put on the screen.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you want to pull up your list, because at least we could run through the list, and we're about halfway through the list of the items that we had wanted to review that were, things that we had wanted to include, because you can never bid the thing twice. You got that put up there. Okay, so talked about those first two, which is that's acoustical ceiling tile and the ductwork insulation. The custom shelving in the adult reading area. Don't even know how to explain it. There's some display cabinets that go between the two areas, and there's some shelving that goes in the middle of them. And essentially taking that away would be a deduct of $4,800. Display cases actually would take let's see here, 48 for custom, make sure, yeah, $4,800 to do all that. Removing the colored LVT in the children's area, and this had to do with so much furniture being in there that we probably wouldn't even be able to see the distinct color difference between the two. That was a savings of $2,200. Water repellents on the outside, on the brick and the CMU. They actually use an integral water repellent within the mortar and the actual stone itself, or the block itself. So we just wanted to look at that. That's a deduct of $4,000. The bold ones here are what we've completed. Removing plastic laminate from the bulkheads. That's again at that center area there between those two with the children's and the stacks. And that was a deduct of $6,500. I actually did get a price on this one, but I'm not going to tell us what that is right now. It's less than that. And the reason being is insulation for the roof, which we would like to change to a different type, and I'll get with Alex on that. Insulation went from about $32 a sheet to $86. So just one of those things. We're still, like we said, in budget. It's just a matter of thinking of what we were going to get to do a couple of changes there. It's just not going to be as much as we were hoping. I think that is all the items that we've completed so far. Now, the actual cost of the GMP, which I will bring up again here in just a second and actually tell you what it came in at.
You want me to put that on the screen?
That'd be awesome. Thank you. So where we are at right now, and with the spreadsheet here that Alex is sharing with us, this shows where we budgeted for furnishings. That was the 502. Pre-construction services, which was my services, $10,400. This was our credits that we were talking about on the insulation and the acoustical ceiling. That was the deduct of $56,000. The estimated additional valuation items that we had just discussed, we're hoping that that comes in somewhere around that number. I think it's going to be a little less just due to the insulation cost right now.
That number includes that 100,000 that we just kind of ballpark estimated. So the 12.7 is at least more accurate than what we had when we were hip shot numbering it, but that 100,000 is in question.
And then, as you can see, the total project cost there at $5,823,135. It does still include, we've held on to a construction contingency of about $94,000. And also that, the construction contract itself, the actual project costs, has everything in there except for essentially the telephone system and the data cabling. And Other than that, yeah, everything's in there. That'd be the only things that you guys would be messing with after the fact. So yeah, budget of 6 million was where we were wanting to be. Kind of like what Gina had said, taking out that architect's fees from construction costs and putting that back in project costs made us a big difference and got us under budget. So
And the telephone cabling, we're gonna just handle out of our operating funds. Because it shouldn't be a huge cost. We're actually, I think last time I told you, we're gonna install a new, and you approved it, VoIP. So it'll just be, it won't be that big, as big a deal.
I think, Alex, do you have anything else to add, or Gina?
No, that summer,
There's, that we've identified value engineering, is that what you call it, items that Clint had looked, we had on that other thing that we're not pursuing, but I guess if things went wonky, those are always things we'd have to cut out. So that's be like the cabinetry, because we could do that at a later time. The trees in the children's area, it's really cool, but if it means opening the building versus not, then the trees would have to go, that sort of thing.
Looks good to me.
Sounds good.
one thing I'll throw out is if there's a motion, you would make the motion to accept Clint's GMP instead of the numbers that we're showing on the screen. His GMP is actually a combination of this number and pre-con. So the number doesn't show up on the screen.
So what is the amount that they would accept?
Uh,
I've got it right here.
Thank you, Clint.
You're
Because I
welcome.
want to make sure I put it in my, because I'm taking minutes, so.
And
It's essentially this number plus 10.4, but
yeah, it's make sure I say it correctly here. It is 5,433,835.
Okay, say that one more time. 5,000,000.
433,000. 835. So 5,433,835.
Okay.
there's a lot of other numbers that go into this one. The wow, I'm drawing a blank on the word. Contingency, and some others.
Okay.
So that number is what we will, like the final cost should be.
The final cost will include these other items though, right? It's added to the GMP.
Correct. So furniture, Clint is not supplying the furniture, so that comes separate. The estimated value engineering items, that's not included in the number that Clint's giving yet because we're in process of attempting to make those changes. We'll have to do a change order to take that off of the construction contract, but the need is to get the construction contract signed and underway, even though we're working on reducing those costs. Hopefully that makes sense.
And I think that GMP paperwork you sent says that there's still some adjustments that have to be made.
Right.
Is that right? So the overall cost is going to be this 5,823,135 or something like that.
It's going to be greater than that because we just learned that the roofing
Oh, yeah.
value engineering, we can't get to that 100,000, but I think we'll get something. It's just not that full amount.
So you all had approved up to 6 million. So I think we're okay on that. It's the GMP guaranteed maximum price that
You
you
got
have to approve. I finally remembered. And then you have to approve the bid package.
Hi, I'm in a library meeting. Yeah, will do. Bye. Okay, so we need a motion to accept the GMP. Do we need to include that amount? Which amount?
5,433,835,
Okay,
and accept the bid package.
I move.
Wendy? Okay, Katie?
I'll second.
Okay.
Who seconded?
I did.
Janine, can I have the screen back, please?
Absolutely.
Me?
Thank you. Okay, we need to vote on that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carried.
Well, and
Okay.
Alex and Clint, thank you for all your work with this.
Yep. They've done a fabulous job.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We're
Big.
very excited that dirt's going to start turning in 2 weeks, right?
Yep, just keep the rain away.
There's
good luck with that.
I'll thank Tanner and Carrie and Jessica because I know they're on the call and they deserve credit as well. The consulting team, our engineers did a phenomenal job. I also want to thank Clint and then the subcontractors. Those voluntary bid alternates were something that we as a design team didn't see. So they saved Barry Lawrence $56,000. They deserve some credit for that.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Definitely our thanks.
Mhm.
Were you guys happy with how the bid process went? Like with the number of people bidding and those kind of things?
I was. We've bid some projects that are about 7-8 times bigger than this recently and not had as many bids as we got. So it's like I've always told Gina and Alex, we had a good price point. Good location, good price point, and pretty much all of the subcontractors that were first or second, except for one, actually helped us during the budgeting process during cost estimating. So it just goes to show that getting people excited and involved early makes them care about the project, and then we get a better price at it from the end. So, yeah, definitely good. Whenever we can come in that close, that's where we want.
We probably had 30, 20, 25 people
it
that
was 27.
showed up on bid day to watch the bids be open.
Wow.
And we had what, 40 packages? Do you remember?
There was 37.
37. I knew it was close.
Yep.
And we had one that came in 3 minutes after, and they got,
Oh, no. Gee.
And they were
everybody.
the sub that budgeted with us
Oh,
for steel.
Oh, no.
The only bid we didn't get was for plumbing, right?
Yeah, and that's because they didn't understand how to read a calendar. Yeah.
But it's okay. We still got a plumbing bid, but it just wasn't part of the
Oh,
bid
good grief.
day.
Yeah.
And we still comply with state statutes and all that stuff. So, yep.
Yeah.
okay.
All right, y'all.
Sounds good.
We appreciate it. And
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Gina,
you.
I'll get on the GMP, make sure we've got all our paperwork in order.
okay. Sounds good. All right.
Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
y'all, the rest of this we can go real quick with. There's not much to it. So
Well, did everyone read the minutes from the June meeting?
Mhm.
Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll move.
Wendy
I'll second.
and Deborah?
I got to remember that I have to write this stuff down.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all in
Joyce?
favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Is Joyce still sick?
She's
Yes.
very sick. She has E. coli that's resulted in UTI, a yeast infection, and she's resistant to the antibiotic orally. So they may have to do it by IV.
Gosh.
Okay.
She came and worked this week, but she's miserable. So I'm sorry. Financial, did you say that, Gina?
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay, so we're at the very end of the year. We had income of 52,000 this month, 11,000 of which was a donation to the building fund. I can't remember where that came from, sorry. I can tell you we did get a $5,500 donation from Arvist Foundation that just came in. That should be on the next one. Yes, this is July. Okay. And so we total year to date, including what we've gotten in the building fund, 2,659,566. And so you can see we're up about 700,000 from this time last year. Then in our expenditures, there's really not much to talk about. It's just business as usual. We expended about $210,000 for the month. And so our year to date is $2,250, $2,250,817. Now, part of those expenditures were because it shows we're actually part of the Monep building expenses. And if you back that out, we're actually almost on spot with what we budgeted last year, which is pretty darn good if you ask me. So, and then we have a pretty healthy checking operations. I am going to go cash one of our CDs from First Independent Bank. So on our reserve funds, that will come, well, it'll stay the same because it still goes in that fund. So in the reserve funds, we have a little over $400,000 in Monette. And then Shell still has its amount. So we're at 627. So I think we're doing pretty good. As I always remind you, we're 6 months in the year. Our income is always a calendar year, which is a challenge because our fiscal year is not a calendar year. So we do have to have money to make it to the end of the year. And I think we're going to be fine. Knock on wood. So that's where we're at with finances.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the financial report. You need to write this, Gina.
I move. Katie moves.
Thank you.
I'll
And who was
second.
second?
Janine,
Janine. Okay.
all in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Motion carried. Circulation stats. Gina has frozen with a funny face.
Okay. I think I'm okay now. So everybody approved. Is that right?
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes,
Are we good? Okay.
yes. Did you get that last approval?
Yes, Katie and Jadine and everybody approved
Yes.
because I saw a whole bunch of hands.
Okay. Right.
And now it's circulation stats.
So we're up from this time last year, but we had just reopened last June, if you remember right, after we'd been closed for several months. So 18,160, and we would be much better if Mount Vernon were open. So I'm feeling really good about that number, that we've got more people coming in the building and checking stuff out.
Mhm.
So, we could add probably another 4,000 checkouts. So we'd be up over 20, maybe around 22. So, we had 2,500 checkouts with Overdrive, which is really good. And then Hoopla, we were at 1,890. I still got to get signed up with our new databases, and we'll have more numbers for you as we bring on Canopy, Freegal, and maybe it's just, and book stack or whatever it's called. But that's for reading purposes. So then
I thought
with
we canceled Ancestry.
we did, but it ran through the 1st of July
Okay.
or mid-June, I can't remember. So it'll go away next month. Computer use, we were up from this time last year. So we had 1,300 computer uses, 467 uses of wireless. So that's pretty good. And then as far as programs go, I think they are rocking the summer reading program in spite of the fact that we don't have many face-to-face interactions inside. Most of these programs occur outside or in other locations at the schools, at schools, and then in alternate places where we have a bigger space. So they've done 255 programs with almost 9,000 attendees, and I think that's pretty phenomenal overall. I think they're doing a great job of doing the best with what they have. I don't think they do get pretty creative with what they're doing, and we've had a lot of the same people doing programs like Oh My Gosh Josh, which the kids love, Wonders of Wildlife, Dickerson Park Zoo, outdoor movie nights that have not been rained out have done really well. So it's pretty much business as usual. It's just that we're not doing them in the branches. So
Okay. Director's report.
I didn't have enough to write anything down, so that's why I didn't send you a director's report, because there's like two I really. With staffing, we still have open positions. We've not gotten a huge number of applications, but I think we're almost to a point where we can maybe start interviewing. We did have a resignation from a full-time person, Berna, who's the children's person at Cassville, resigned, and she gave us 4 weeks notice. And so her last day will be the end of the month. I anticipate we should get some good applications because it's full-time, which means benefits. So I'm hopeful on that. Mount Vernon is still closed there. I think we're at the tail end. I didn't have a chance to call Cindy yesterday to check with her, but they're getting things cleaned up and reshelved. And I think there were flooring issues to finish up and a little bit of touch up. But I'm hoping that by next Monday, they should be able to open. As I mentioned to everybody, but I don't think Wendy and maybe Katie didn't hear it, but Joyce is very sick and Mr. Piter is out for surgery. So I don't know what. And then we discussed it a little bit, but everybody should have gotten a email that had what Demco conceives of for our furniture placement. And so just take time to read over that. If you've got, Gina already sent me some comments, which pretty much were some of the concerns we had too. We have several questions for them, but overall, I thought the design was good. We did ask for a lot of color. And the hard thing is you don't get to see it with what colors are actually on the walls or the built-ins. Everything's pretty much a neutral palette. We do have some wall color. They did take some of the things from the files that Alex sent them, like the darker flooring, but I don't think that's quite accurate. So at any rate, I just thought it was kind of exciting because it, like I think Katie was saying, it gives you that visual of what it's really going to start to look like. You know, it's pretty exciting to see stuff in there. We did tell them there's so much stuff in the building that I was worried we wouldn't have enough space for people to sit. But I thought that they gave us a good blend of furniture, from tables to lounge chairs to benches. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's some like little pods for people to sit in. And some of those will turn so that they can have group session, or they can just sit as a single. So I think it's going to be a cool blend, and I'm hoping we can come.
I was wondering what the slot is in some of those chairs and some of the
We
tables.
don't know if that's just how it shows in the graphic. I didn't ask. I didn't think about it until I went over it with Joyce, and we wondered that too. I don't think that's actually in the furniture.
I thought maybe it was handles to move it.
I don't know, but I can ask. I know. I don't know, because it showed in some of the lounge chairs, and I don't think that's really in the furniture. So, and did you all? It was hard to describe, but on that first drawing, there's like a little graphic that looks like a camera with little lines. If you click that, you can kind of swirl around the space. Did you figure that out?
No.
That's really kind of fun to be able to do that.
I thought
it gives you like a little 3D.
I thought in some of the spaces, like the patio, I thought it had almost too much furniture. And then even the kids area,
yeah,
I thought it seemed cluttered too.
Yep.
And the kitchen area,
we agree.
Yeah, the kitchen area, I thought they would have tables more like for food, not for like a conference.
Well, we asked them for the the teaching style tables. They flip and they roll so that they can be stored easier, but they can be put back to back to make a bigger table. Okay. So that's why we chose that, because most of the time I found when I've been in meetings, people don't like to sit with their back. And so those tables take up a lot less space if you're going to have more of a classroom type setting. I can't remember, but so that's why we went with the half tables.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we're probably only going to go with about half of what we asked for, because I think the cost is going to be too much. And we didn't like the style of the chairs as much. I don't know, Gina, if we can afford to get padded seats or not, though. But
well, something that I mean, if you sit on those plastic chairs for more than 15 minutes, you're hurting, and everybody's going to get up and move around. And if it's not comfortable, they're not going to come back.
Yeah. But
That's
most,
my thinking.
honestly, in most of the places I've been in, meetings and conference rooms and libraries, it's very similar type of chair. So we'll just have to see what they have. I haven't looked at their online sources yet. I just haven't had time. So that's pretty much my little bitty director's report.
Okie dokie. Motion to approve the director's report. Wendy
I so move.
and Janine,
Mhm.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Here. Cat problems.
Okay, COVID resurgence.
Okay, so Joyce and I talked about this, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. I don't know that there's much we can do anyway, with the governor pretty much saying that he's not going to close anything down and make any restrictions, and they've made it hard for communities to do that too. But our cases are going up pretty dramatically here. I just sent you out this morning. I sent you what we had done in May. Nobody here is wearing masks. Some of the staff wear them occasionally, the older staff. We don't back in the office, but I don't interact with the public and we're all vaccinated. So I just thought maybe we should have a discussion. We can always go backwards. Our pandemic guidelines did say that it's possible that we could return to any of the stages if the hospital started getting full again, if the virus takes off, with a different strain, which is pretty much where we're at. So I don't know if you want to do anything. We probably don't want to open up more with our meetings any more than what we've done. We did put in here that we require people that use our meeting rooms to mask. So I don't know what to say. The hospitals are full and sending people away.
Right.
And they're not doing procedures and
Yeah.
Well, if the state's not going to close anything down, I don't know. It's a hard call.
I would definitely think if any of the branches were affected, like an employee or something, that we would definitely need some action then.
yeah, we've had, as far as I know, nobody's come down with COVID. We did have somebody recently, I can't remember which branch, got sick and they thought they had COVID, but they didn't. Of course, staff is no longer covered by the FFCRA because that ended in December.
Yeah.
So pretty much if anybody comes down with it, they're going to have to use sick leave to cover it. But we'll just deal with that as we come along. But so far, we've done okay with it. So.
Well, and it sounds like you're also trying to keep programming outside if possible, which I think is a good idea. I do wonder, I'm a little bit more cautious probably than some of my friends. And if I'd have known the programming was outside, I'd probably make a bigger effort to attend. So when we're going, when things are, since things are getting worse, just letting people know, hey, this is outside might help people be willing to come.
So far, we've had really great attendance at most of our events, which is pretty amazing. So I think it's probably a reminder to staff to make sure people are still socially distancing, that if they do have a program inside, that they have to make sure that they go with the capacities that they've set. I did see a discussion this morning on the public library directors list the question came up about, are you going to go? Some places have not started indoor programming like Springfield Green. They were going to do that this fall, but she said they're probably going to delay it till December now. And Gina in Joplin said that she's the one that sent the email out, that they've had such a resurgence there as well that they're probably not going to resume in-house programming either. So I don't know, there may have been more comments. That was just this morning. So.
Well, and I think,
Uh-oh.
I think as
Oh,
a
good, we're
board,
back.
if we feel like the in-house programming is unsafe, you know, like if you're seeing people stacked on top of people, you know, cramming in, maybe we need to relook at, should we finish the year of programming if there are other libraries not even doing that?
Yeah, that's what, I'll have that discussion with the supervisors and remind them that if they're doing inside programming, that they have to follow the guidelines that are in our meeting that we issued in May, that we're not, you know, we could be even more restrictive, but I think it's going to be really difficult to make staff wear masks and to make the customers wear masks when there are no mask mandates in the state.
Well, and I've noticed on the library doors, it still requests that they wear masks. And I feel at this point, that's all we can do.
Yep.
And I think you could still leave that on the door, couldn't you? That we request they wear masks and that they distance. I said, can you still, I mean, can the library still leave their signs on the door saying?
We can. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But we leave it as an option that we request it, but you know, of course we can't really, I mean, we never could. That's the thing. We required people to wear masks, but if they didn't want to wear one, there wasn't much we could do.
I know.
I told the staff not to get into a fist fight over it. It's not worth it.
Our post office here in Pierce City had signs on both the entry door and the door into the post office asking people to wear masks. And then the people inside working there didn't have one on. So, you know, I don't know. It's kind of senseless. It's sad.
Yep. I found that.
Sad.
I
found that to be true in many businesses.
Yes.
I was at Casey's, which wants everybody to wear masks, but the clerk was wearing it down here. Under his chin. Mouth and nose completely uncovered, but he had it on. Which does no good. So what was the point?
We still are masking.
Well,
the only place that I'm still masking is at church because the Methodist Conference in this area requires that all members still mask while we're moving about, unless you're sitting in your pew.
Right.
And then, of course, what's the point? I mean, we're masking, but then we're taking them off and spewing germs. So, you know, it's kind of funny, but.
I think all the rest homes have probably had to close down. I know the Mount Vernon Veterans Home has workers and veterans again that have it. And so no one can come in. And I've heard the same from rest homes. So, you know,
and a lot of people. I see if you're at the hospital or a doctor's office, you still have to mask. So
yeah, they have that.
Well, Gina, I think we should just be as a board watching this. And if you see red flags where we need to make another decision, just, you know, have us hop on and make that decision between now and next month, because a lot can change in 30 days.
Right.
Yes, it can. You're absolutely right. Yep. So.
I agree.
Okay. So any other business?
Nope.
Anybody have anything they need to discuss? Then let's have a motion to adjourn this meeting. Wendy? And
I'll second
Katie?
it. The Mr. Piter motion.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.
Okay, so before everybody goes, I want to invite you this weekend to come see Clue the musical. because I've been an idiot and I'm actually one of the musicians playing. I've been like, my whole summer's gone because that's all I've done is go to rehearsals for weeks
Huh.
and weeks and weeks. And I still suck at playing, but it's okay.
And
So
where is it
Yeah.
and when, what time?
it'll be Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon at the PAC, with the Performing Arts Center at the Monette High School. On Friday and Saturday, I think it's at 7. And what time is it Sunday?
2, I think.
And Sunday's at 2.
Yeah.
And I believe Sunday is the student senior discount day, but it's $10 a ticket.
And it's almost diagonal from the new library.
Well,
Yes, it is. It is. And at any rate, Amanda, who's here in the office, she's Mrs. Peacock.
Oh.
And we both made a pact that if either of us ever decide we want to do this again, that we are to beat the other person and tell them, no, cannot do this again. So
what instrument do you play, Tina? What
I play
instrument?
the piano.
Oh,
I
okay.
actually have a bachelor's and master's in piano
Oh,
from
my.
UMKC, but I don't play very often. So this has been extreme torture.
Oh,
Missy Miller, who's here in town, who
Yes.
plays a lot, and she's very, very good. She probably
Right.
could play the whole thing without me, but she's also playing. And then we have a guitar, bass player, and we added drums last night, which was awesome because he keeps us in
Ooh.
tempo. So it's just a very weird score to play. It's the most unmusical musical, and whoever scored it for piano was an idiot. So if you know anything
Hmm.
about music, same measure, they'll have the right hand play an E flat while the left hand's playing a D sharp, which is the same note. So why can't you write it the same? No.
Oh, no.
And
oh, no.
there's one song that changes keys 7 times. Seven.
Oh,
So
that's
your
strange.
brain starts to go, what notes am I playing? I don't know what's happening. So
Oh, that's,
Yeah. So at any rate, that's just a side note that if you want to come, Gina, and I have some speaking lines too, so I won't give it away.
Okay.
I was hoping to see it, but we leave tomorrow afternoon. It was going to make us too late. We're on our way to Memphis.
Oh, yay.
A friend of mine is Miss Scarlett in.
Oh, Stephanie.
Yes.
Yeah. She
Wow.
does a fabulous job. Yeah.
Hmm.
She looks wonderful. Yep. Where are you go?
Okey-dokey.
Is your destination Memphis, Katie?
Well, we're going to go to Mammoth Cave just for fun. And then my girls are competing in a national Bible competition in Memphis. So it will be in downtown Memphis Sunday through Wednesday for their competition.
Oh.
And one daughter, it's drama, Bible memory. It's like a Bible trivia game and then a flute solo. So they have multiple things they'll be competing in, and sign language. One of my daughters does sign language.
Wow.
There's lots of fun things to do. I lived in Memphis 18 years, but just a word of caution, please just be aware of your surroundings because downtown is not a safe place.
That's good to know.
I've got to go.
Make sure,
Thank you all.
okay. Just make sure you hold your kids close, that there is a good police presence, but that's my advice.
Okay. We'll be mindful of that.
Yes, definitely. But enjoy because it is nice, except it'll be hot. So
Yes.
yeah. Have a good time. Good luck to your girls.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Thanks, Wendy.
Sorry I was late.
No worries. We're just glad you made it.